You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is Friday morning show of Ask the Master Auto Technician. I've got one of the master tire technicians, or should I say tire salesmen out there. I've got Handsome Hanson Hindenburg from Baytown Tires. We're right there on the curve in St. Andrews, and they have a sister shop in Lynn Haven called Road Mart. So if you need tires, you need to go by and talk to these two people. Excuse me, someone at Road Mart in Lynn Haven or Handsome Hanson Hindenburg. I always like calling you that, Hanson. At your place there on the curve in St. Andrews. How are we doing this morning, sir?
I wish ladies would call me Handsome Hanson. I mean, it's one thing if you do, that's good. I appreciate that, but...
Well, I'm glad I call you that because, well, you're a handsome young man. What are you, like 35 years old?
Yeah, I wish. I know.
Well...
I'm getting old now, too, James. It's been a long time. I'm not going to say my age, but I'm not quite as long as I used to be.
Well, I'm as good once as I ever was.
Yes, that's right. I know I'm as good as I'll ever be, unfortunately.
All right. Well, now, when it comes to working on tires, a lot of people, they say, I just want a set of tires to get me through the holidays. And when I hear that all the time, what do people mean when they say, I just want to get a set of tires to get me through the holidays? And I think that just means they want the cheapest tire they can find.
Well, I hear it all the time. People go like, well, I'm just keeping this car for another 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 years down the road, they still have the car, and they go, well, I wish I'd have bought a better set of tires. So unless you're 100% certain that you're going to get rid of the car soon, or, like you said, just want the absolute cheapest, I think a lot of times, just for a few more bucks, you can step it up and get a little bit of a better tire nowadays.
That's where I was going to go. I'm just going to throw round numbers out here. Just say a good set of tires, the best set of tires you can buy for your car is going to run you $1,000. I'm just throwing numbers out there. The best set of tires you can buy, I'm talking about Michelin or Pirelli or whatever, just say $1,000, but you can get a cheaper set of tires for $800. Is that about the difference in price, or am I off on that?
Well, no, I think $1,000 is a good number. Let's say, like you said, Michelin, Pirelli,
okay, right.
Goodyear, Bridgestone, something like that. And then probably entry level would be $500 to $600.
Okay, all right.
And then for somewhere in between $700 and $750, you can get a tire that's going to be really good.
Okay.
So for a couple more $100, usually. It sounds like truck tires we're talking in this scenario.
Yeah, I am. I'm going along like my Chevy truck. That's what I was going.
You could start, down at 40 to 50, and then all of a sudden, for a couple more $100, you step it up to 70,000 mile tire.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference out there. Now, this is the time of year that businesses may want to consider reshoeing or retiring all their vehicles because it's the end of the year. And this is where you spend your profit, so to speak, because you get taxed. I know I get taxed as a subchapter S corporation. I get taxed on the profits of the business. This is where we see what the business needs to get us through next year. And we know a lot of our loaner cars out here are going to be needing tires. And I know there's a lot of businesses out there that have lots of tires in their fleets of trucks or whatever. And this would be the time of year to start looking at putting that into reshoeing their tires, reshoeing their cars out there, putting new tires on them. And don't y'all normally run a tire special sometime in December to motivate more people to do that?
Yes, we run buy three, get one free.
I know that's coming up.
And a lot of times that coincides with, even mail-in rebates. Usually not in December, but, at the end of this month, wind up having the buy three, get one free, and the rebate on top of it on, certain tires. So it's a really good deal. And like you said, we do get quite a few people that look at, say, hey, I need to write this off. I really need tires, so that they can get it off their taxes this year.
And that's what it is, because if you don't go ahead and spend it, you're going to be charged taxes on it. And so the best thing we do in business, this is how everything works. Donald Trump looks at it this way too. You find out what you've got to do, what you're going to have to pay on. So you have, just going to round off, so you're going to have $200,000 you got to pay taxes on, but you need tires on all your vehicles. You need to spend $4,000 on taxes. Well, go ahead and buy it. What were you going to say? Tires, excuse me, I said taxes. My wife corrected me on that part. Go ahead and buy the tires. So now you're only paying taxes on $196,000. I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but the point is you're cutting your tax liability down, and this is the time of year to do it. Towards the end of the year, start putting tires on those wore-out tires that are on cars and trucks that you've been putting off. Because I know we have, how many cars we have here, Anne Marie? 6 to 8 cars somewhere in that area that we loan out, and she's putting it all together. No, excuse me, 11 cars and trucks. We have 11 cars and trucks.
You got a whole fleet yourself.
We do have a fleet. And about every 4 to 5 years, due to age, we have to change it. My Kia's got great rubber on the tires, but they're 5 years old. You know, I got to get rid of them. I can't loan it to a customer with 6-year-old tires on there. If an accident took place because a tire blew out, wouldn't I be held liable for that? So, you know, that's why I want to change my tires when they get 5 years old. I can't let them stay on there.
Yeah, and it happens pretty easily. I mean, we have a service truck that, you know, gets barely 20,000 miles on it over the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And the tires are 5 years old, and one of them started to separate, you know, just the other day, just because of age, not because of mileage. And it usually happens when the temperatures change or something like that affects the tire itself.
And that's what I try to tell people. Well, my tires look brand new. I said, yes, your tires do look brand new. You know, you've got lots of rubber left on them, but your tires are 7 years old. You're telling me you're going to go visit your kids in South Florida. That's great. I want you to go visit your kids, but I want you to arrive there alive. I don't want you to end up dead as a statistic. You do not need to be driving with tires that are more than 5 years old on your vehicle.
Well, and like you said, it's an inconvenience a lot of times. You know, even if there is not an accident or you have a problem with a tire and you're in the middle of nowhere and you have to figure out what to do now to get a tire or maybe even buy a whole new set, I would try to always recommend to do it somewhere where you're more familiar, like your hometown.
Absolutely.
And figure out instead of being somewhere, like I said, in Gainesville or somewhere.
Well, speaking of that, say they buy tires from Baytown Tires or Roadmart. You're the Tire Pros expert, and y'all have a warranty that's nationwide no matter where you go, no matter what town you're in, whether it's a small 2,000 people town or a 200,000 people town. Y'all at least have someone to be able to take care of the tire.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, we have almost 800 stores, nationwide Tire Pro stores that they can go to directly. But even better than that is that, you know, if you have a warranty through us, you can basically go to any tire store in the United States, and all you do is call the 800 number, and if they need to repair it or replace it, you know, they reimburse you directly over the telephone with a credit card.
Well, that's amazing. I don't know of any other I know Firestone doesn't do this. I know Goodyear doesn't do this. I know Sears doesn't do this, but Tire Pros do this. They do this. If you have a blowout or a failed tire or one that gets a nail in it, you can go to any tire store, whether they're a Tire Pros expert or not, dial the 1-800 number, and they will take care of it on the phone through a credit card?
Yes, that's it.
That's pretty impressive.
You know, you need to have the extended mobility tire protection plan.
Okay.
But, you know, it's usually not that expensive. It ranges anywhere from about $10 to $20 a tire.
Okay, so the maximum, say someone has to pay $80 to $100 for a set of tires. This is kind of like a hazardous... what am I calling this? Road hazard warranty? Is that what this is?
Well, you know, that's basically what it is. But it also gives you other benefits like, you know, free rotation anywhere. Also, you know, free air checks, or if your TPMS goes, they reprogram it for free for you in most cases, unless you have a Maserati or something.
Yeah, I know all about that.
It really is a benefit, and we've seen more. You know, especially as construction is in full swing again, road construction is in full swing again. Tires. Last week, somebody came down here from Georgia and, of course, got a nail in the sidewall, and they replaced it free of charge. He just got the tire about 6 weeks ago before a trip coming down here. And, you know, it's simple, it's easy, and, you know, it saved him $180.
And that's well worth the value to make sure you have that road hazard protection. What did you call that again? It's called...
Extended Mobility Tire Protection Plan.
Extended Mobility Tire Protection Plan. I'm sure there's some acronym for it.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm sure there is. Some alphabet soup out there.
You know, some people say, oh, it's a gimmick to get extra $10 out of me. But a lot of times, you know, over the life of the tire, at one time or another, you're probably going to have to use it.
I've used mine before.
It's a good investment.
I've used mine before. I bought a set of tires. They were probably had 300 miles on it, and I hit something in the road, took out the sidewall. So bad that I had to put a spare tire on there to limp back home, and they took care of it for free. Well, it wasn't for free because I had the extended warranty, but that extended warranty pays off. Even if you don't use it on every set of tires you buy, if you just think about it, say you buy 3 sets of tires and only 1 set of tires you have this problem on, it'll pay for itself. It'll break even.
And some people buy it on a car that they take out of town, and they have one car that they just keep here in town that they don't buy it for. But like I said, for peace of mind, the next set of tires I'm going to buy me, too, just so if you go out of town, all you do is call the 800 number and they'll take care of it.
And that's a great thing to do. Now, we only got about 2.5 minutes left here. I know that I know when people get tires on here, they ask about their alignments. Do they need to be checked? How often should alignments be checked? I tell my customers at least once every 12 to 15,000 miles. Maybe with all the construction down here in bad roads, you might want to, maybe you got a different viewpoint on it.
Yes, I usually recommend, you said 12 to 15,000 miles, which on average is about once a year.
Once a year.
And I think that's the way to go, because a lot of times people let it go and then don't think about it, and then tires are worn out and other front-end issues seem to appear. So I would say a year and a half, definitely make sure that you get it checked at least. And usually what we do here is we look at the tires when they're here, and if they have any kind of funny wear patterns, we say, hey, let's check out your front end, and if everything is good, let's do an alignment.
And that's something that needs to be done more often than people think. I get cars that come here with bad wheel bearings, and they go, I said, I need to check your alignment after I put the wheel bearing in it. They said, well, I just had the alignment done about 3 weeks ago. And I said, sir, if you had the alignment done 3 weeks ago, you probably had a bad wheel bearing then, and they just didn't see it. We had one come in the other day. Sure enough, we put the new wheel bearing on it, checked the alignment. It was a 1/2 inch toed out.
Wow.
I'm going, see, sir, if I had let you go down the road, those $400 a piece tires wouldn't have lasted very long. It would have tore right up.
And we see that. Alignment to us is not a casual event. We check the front end very well and making sure that everything is good. Because often we see people having gotten an alignment somewhere else and then still complain about certain issues. And it really wasn't the alignment that was bad. They probably did an alignment as good as possible, but there are hardware issues. Like you said, ball bearings, ball joints. There's lots of things going on in the front end.
And that's what's so true. I see this all the time. People just get lazy, and I'm not trying to pick on people, but the technicians go, look, I'm only going to get paid so much. I'm not going to buy anything else. Let me get paid my $10 or $20 doing alignment, whether it's the parts are good or not. And then they end up giving the customer false insecurity, everything's fine, and they didn't do their job correctly. That's why it's so very
I'd rather
important.
not, take your money for an alignment that's not going to do you
Absolutely.
any good. And, that's always my philosophy. We want to make sure that everything is 100%. And like I said, we see it often, and a lot of vehicles have 150, 200,000 miles on it now. It's time to replace those struts as well.
Absolutely. We can talk more about this, but we're up against the clock. I want everybody to go visit you at 873-8900. Give you a call at that number, or go visit you on the curve in St. Andrews on 15th Street at Baytown Tires. Hanson, I'll talk to you next week.
Have a great week.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
James Auto Center, we fix it right.